In this video, we're going to learn how to switch into factored form. So it says, what is the factored form of a quadratic equation? So we learned that factored form is y equals a times x minus p times x minus q. All this means is that you have factors being multiplied together. So it says, write the following equations in factored form. On example 1, we have f of x equals 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. What form is this equation currently in? This equation is currently in standard form. To go from standard form to factored form, we need to factor. Our first step with factoring is to always look for a GCF. Is there a GCF here? No GCF. Because there is not a GCF, I can go straight to the area model. First term goes in the first box, last term goes in the last box. You always need to multiply your first number by your last number. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So here I'm looking for factors of negative 6 that add to negative 5. If you're not sure, write out your factors of 6. The numbers that multiply to 6 are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Which pair could multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 5? 1 and 6. Here we'll have to have negative 6 and positive 1. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. This is the only way that you could get a negative 6 by multiplying and a negative 5 by adding. These are the numbers that are going to go in the empty spaces of my area model. Because my middle term has an x, both of these terms are going to have an x. The greatest common factor of my top row is 2x. The greatest common factor of my bottom row is 1. The greatest common factor of the left column is x. And the greatest common factor of the right column is negative 3. Remember that you can check your work. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. 1 times x is 1x. And 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. So my factors are f of x equals 2x plus 1 times x minus 3. I have factored this equation, and so this is now in factored form. And so this is my answer. Let's go ahead and look at example 2. On example 2, y equals x minus 4 squared minus 36 is currently in what form? This is currently in vertex form. To go from vertex form to factored form, we will need to multiply, simplify, and then factor. I'm going to begin by multiplying x minus 4 squared. X minus 4 squared means that I have x minus 4 times x minus 4. This is a binomial being multiplied by a binomial. And so to multiply those together, I am going to use the area model. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply. X times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So right now I have y equals x squared. Negative 4x minus 4x is negative 8x plus 16. And then I still need to bring down my minus 36. So we have multiplied. Step 2 is to simplify. So, to simplify, I'm going to combine like terms. And so I'll have x squared minus 8x. 16 minus 36 is negative 20. This equation, y equals x squared minus 8x minus 20, is currently in what form? Standard form. I'm not trying to be in standard form. I'm trying to be in factored form. So now we're going to follow the same steps that we did on example 1. It says to go from standard form to factored form, we need to factor. So now I'm going to go ahead and factor x squared minus 8x minus 20. Your first step with factoring is to look for a GCF. Is there a GCF? No. So then I can go ahead and use the area model. Now I'm factoring instead of multiplying. So first term goes in the first box, last term goes in the last box. You always want to multiply your first number by your last number. 1 times negative 20 is negative 20. So here I'm looking for factors of negative 20 that add to negative 8. If you're having a hard time, write out your factors of 20. The numbers that multiply to 20 are 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. Which one of these pairs could give me a negative 8? Well, 2 and 10 could give me negative 8 if 10 was negative and 2 was positive. Negative 10 times 2 is negative 20, and negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. So these will be the numbers that go in the empty spaces of my area model. The greatest common factor of my top row is x. The greatest common factor of my bottom row is 2. The greatest common factor of the left column is x. And the greatest common factor of the right column is negative 10. We can check our work. X times x is x squared. X times negative 10 is negative 10x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. So my factors are going to be y equals x plus 2 times x minus 10. This is now in factored form.